Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa. Hey, look, whatever you celebrate, I hope you are having an awesome day. This is SloMo here, and with 2019 winding down, I wanted to highlight my top 5 games of the year. Now, I'm not saying these were hands down the best games to come out this year, but they were absolutely the best games for me. It goes without saying that if you haven't played any of these games, what are you doing? Pick them up now. They're probably on sale and super cheap as well somewhere. So, go get them. And without further ado, let's get into it. So number 5 on my list is a little indie game called Gris. Gris is a platform adventure game developed by a little indie dev team called Nomada Studio and published by Devolver Digital. Gris is the only game Nomada Studio has ever made, and I think they really showed themselves to be a up-and-coming, promising developer. This is a beautifully illustrated and audio designed platformer where your main character is a girl named Gris who wakes up in the palm of a crumbling statue woman. I know, bear with me, come on. You go through the levels trying to escape a shadow that's chasing you while simultaneously trying to help this woman put herself together. To me, this game seemed like one big metaphor in dealing with loss, depression, that kind of stuff, and overcoming that loss to be able to move on. It was really powerful. It somehow achieved this powerful narrative without any characters actually saying a single word, which I think is just amazing. And I don't usually play platformers, but this one caught my eye. I'm glad I took a chance on it. It was pretty awesome. Number 4, maybe a shocker, especially considering all the turmoil that occurred with the studio, but my number 4 is actually the final season of The Walking Dead, co-developed and co-published by Telltale Games and Skybound Games. I know some of you may be thinking, why is this here when the majority of the episodes released in 2018? First of all, it's my list, so kick rocks, but outside of that, it didn't really do anything innovative or improve the format Telltale was known for. Look, I get all that. I understand. But the last episode did release in March 2019. So as far as I'm concerned, it still fits. But when it comes to impact, I really appreciate the story the Telltale staff attempted to tell here. Although it did have to be finished by Skybound Games, the story, the voice acting, and most of the work had already been done when Telltale went under. So how it ended was faithful to how they intended to end it, and I'm appreciative of that. I think Clementine's story was handled well. I think the ending of it was satisfying, at least satisfying for me. And I think I was probably a fan of The Walking Dead Telltale Games. I really enjoyed all the seasons except season 2. So having it go out on a good note was all I could really ask for. And the ending of the game, how it ended, it really made me kind of sit back after I played the game and just really think about the entire series as a whole and all the highlights and how I really enjoy playing it. And I think that anytime a game can make you do that after you're done playing it, you finished it, then they achieved their goal. So yeah. So moving on to number 3, and I know I may have a few of you that will take issue with this, but here we go. My number 3 is Gears 5, developed by the Coalition and published by Xbox Game Studios. Personally, I've never cared too much for the Gears multiplayer, so all the issues many of the hardcore Gears community have been complaining about really don't apply to me. They don't mean much to me. I'm not saying they aren't valid, but it's not why I play the game, so I don't care. I've always enjoyed the campaigns, the cast of characters, and I thought this campaign, where they took it, was exactly what this franchise needed. The gameplay is not any different than what you'll get from any other Gears game. Some are fine with that, some aren't. I was good with it as long as the story kept me engaged, and it did. So, I was good with it. Switching the main protagonist to Kate turned out to be a good move, as JD was just not cutting it as a main character. He's just too boring, too bland, and honestly, the only reason they made him the main character was because he was Marcus Phoenix's son, and that's just not enough. So yeah, also the development of Dale was good to see. got to learn more about that character. You know, just overall, all the characters had some kind of story arc, some kind of character progression, which is great when most games can't be bothered to do any character development, even for main characters. This one had character development for side characters, which is, I think, always going to be awesome to see in a game. The final act, no matter how controversial it may have been, and I won't get into any spoilers, it's still the kind of risk that I like to see from the Coalition. And I'm all in on a Gears 6 to complete this story out and hopefully move this IP into new territory to keep it fresh for future generations. So number two is The Outer Worlds, developed by the Obsidian Entertainment and published by Private Division. Obsidian are one of the best developers at making RPGs in the industry, and they certainly didn't disappoint with this one. I have never been a fan of Fallout games. I actually pretty much hate them, but The Outer Worlds is like the perfect blend of Fallout with influences from BioWare RPGs and BioShock. In The Outer Worlds, you are a colonist who has been in cryosleep for like a century, and when you are woken up in this new colony away from Earth, you find that these corporations that are running the colonies are basically treating everyone like their own slaves, and things are getting progressively worse. And of course, with any RPG with branching narrative paths, there are multiple ways to tackle what's going on in these colonies, complete your missions, and basically achieve multiple endings. I really enjoyed developing my character. I spec'd him out to have max levels in leadership, persuasion, lying, intelligence, and science. So I played the game, basically the majority of the game, resolving all of my conflicts through manipulating people, using technology against my enemies, and with high leadership levels, I was basically allowing my companions to make up for my limited firearms and melee combat skills. It was pretty awesome. I mean, even if it wasn't for one bug, I would have been able to do the entire final mission without firing my gun. I mean, seriously, like literally, I could have done the entire final mission without having to fire a single bullet. Now, I know that might turn some gamers off, but I thought that was incredibly unique, and I'm definitely going to do another playthrough with another character where I'll have a completely different build, where maybe I'll go all melee or all firearms, or just have him just be dumb as a rock and not be able to complete sentences and stuff like that, and just make completely different decisions. But the ability to be able to do that really increases the replayability of the game, and Obsidian really knocked it out. Can't wait for the sequel. Now, you guys know what my next game is going to be. If you know me, then you already know what this #1 game is going to be. It's of course Fire Emblem's 3 Houses, developed by Intelligent Systems and Koei Tecmo, and published by Nintendo. 3 Houses is a tactical RPG that allows you to choose between 3 separate houses that all have completely different characters who are very well fleshed out with their own subplots and backstories. Each house has a very different personality, so to speak. So like, you'll find that despite some events being the same, no matter which house you choose, that your choice of house really influences the way the world of Fodlan develops, or hey, even devolves into war. It's amazing. I played through 2 of the 4 different story arcs, and they're very different story arcs. I'm still working on the 3rd one right now, but each time I play, I learn something new about major and minor characters. I think part of the reason why this game captured so much of my attention this year is due to not actually realizing how good this franchise was, and not expecting it to be this good in the plot, in the character development, in the main story, and not realizing I was going to have so much fun developing my students in my house and making them ready for battle, and finding the best combination of skills and classes for them to use to become their most effective, powerful member of my team. Just by far the best game I played this year. The game I spent the most time on this year, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, it's awesome. So yeah, there is my top 5 of 2019. What is your top 5 of 2019? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the dislike button if you didn't like it. It's all good. And hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. You guys have a great new year. Happy holidays, all that good stuff. Peace.